3 months ago, I was completely terrified of leaving the US alone, striking out and coming to Vietnam. Here's how I overcame that fear and got my ass on the plane. Now, I didn't do this, but I'm going to tell you this because this is something that I did that I highly regret. Know the difference between taking your time and wasting time. That is very important. I wasted time. I wasted money. There's a difference between doing your research, taking your time, building, making sure you're ready versus letting all of your negatives talk, all that crap get in your head. I'm falling into depression. You're not really doing anything to move yourself forward towards where you want to be. Find the healthy balance. Find that line to walk to where you're not just making excuses for yourself. Don't allow yourself to fall in that hole. I fell in that hole. Don't do it. So just know the difference. There's a difference between taking your time, watching all the videos that you need to watch, getting your paperwork filled out, making sure you have your passport. All of that is important. Making sure you have your visa, making sure you have your flight, comparing flights, if whatever you're going to do. But make sure you're not wasting time. Don't do that because you can't get that time back and you will regret it. I do. Eventually I'll get over it. Everyone has to, but I'm just that is my biggest advice. Don't waste time. Let yourself feel the fear, yes, but at the same time, don't let it overtake you because I let it overtake me. And you just I wound up wasting money. That money could have been used somewhere else. Truth is, you're just going to need to let yourself feel the fear. I mean, feel it. It might sound corny, but like for me, I was feeling anger, frustration at how everything in the US was going. You need to let yourself feel it. That's the first thing. If you're tired, if you're scared, if you are run down, if you just are so curious, you're ready to see something different, let yourself feel it. And then, after that, you need to move into your research phase. I did my research on where I wanted to go. I also looked at compared flight tickets. That's something else that you're going to need to do. But most of all, compare what your life will look like. What it looks like now, or where it looks like where you're at now versus what it could look like. What could you be spending versus what are you spending now? What is the cost of living in the US versus my cost of living in Vietnam? What will it look like? I'm doing this here. I'd be doing the same thing there. So would I be saving money? Would I be enjoying myself more? What do you think? All right, so I'm not going to sit in this video and tell you that it's going to be easy just, taking off on your own solo across the world. It is not. You probably will be terrified. You're going somewhere to a different country with different people who do not look like you. They don't speak, I mean, some of them speak English, but that coming here thinking and expecting people to speak English is selfish and it is not the reality. So, for me, having been in the US, already having gone through homelessness and having picked myself back up, I was not ready to enter back into another lease. I wasn't ready to, certainly wasn't ready to get into paying on a car again. I definitely thought about it. A large chunk of money I had saved up was to buy a car cash payment, but I decided against that. So for the first time in my life, I don't own a car. And I feel happy about I'm so perfectly fine with it because you know what? Getting around Vietnam is so easy. But um, I just, I was already broken down. So jumping over my fear it really just took me being tired. And I don't want to say that that's going to be a lot of people's push, but for me that was the push. Just I was tired. I wanted something different. You're either going to be tired or you're going to be curious. I was a little bit of both. I was very tired of the status quo in the United States. Like I said, it was very hard leaving. It was not easy. And I'm also not one of those people that's going to sit here and tell you that I plan on leaving the States forever or long term. My plan, honestly, is one foot in, one foot out. I'll be in the States for about 6 months. I'll be outside of the States for about 6 months, um, traveling, and that is what I plan on doing. And yeah, I like that. I like that idea. It's just going to be easier for me that way. And I call that more of a slower transition. But I was already not in a lease. I was pretty much living in Airbnbs after moving out of my car, finding, income and being able to support myself again after being ill. I I was like already like a wanderer, so it was easy for me to leave. Um, the hardest part was booking that plane ticket for me, and my plane ticket out of the U.S. Via China Airlines was like $800. Mind you, I booked it last minute. Now I like I said, had put it off quite a bit. I had supposed I was supposed to have been here in Vietnam back in April. I had already applied for my visa and everything and got it approved. I didn't get to Vietnam until July. I had to reapply for another visa because I kept talking myself out of it, listening to other people. Oh, you're gonna pay $1,000 to go somewhere just for some cheap food and cheap this, and people who run their mouth, and you don't need to listen to them. Most of them are miserable anyway and wish they had the courage to do what you do or what you want to do. And my problem was listening to other people and then listening to that voice in my head that's like, stepping outside of your comfort zone is going to be very scary. And it is scary. It was scary, still is scary, but I wouldn't look. I'm so thankful that I did it. If you're thinking about it, do it. Just make sure that you plan, do your research, know what could go wrong. I'll do a video about that because things can definitely go wrong, but at the same time, things can go very right. And you never know the people that you'll meet. You never know where you'll wind up. And in the end, you'll wind up thanking yourself that you took that step. You could be blowing your money still in the US on that expensive shit like I was. I had saved up quite a bit of money and blew through half of it just saying, no, okay, no. I'm just gonna try to find me a second or a third job and just try to stick it out here. So I spent all this time searching for an apartment. Them those expensive ass apartments in Texas that ain't even worth two dead flies smashed. I went through all of that. You search for a car, and by the time you get done doing all that searching, you've blown money on hotels, you've blown money on Airbnbs, and it's not cheap. You've blown money on Uber, Lyft, trying to get around and get all this done, and it's not cheap. None of that is cheap. It is not cheap living in the US. DoorDash, trying to order food if you have no car because it's not walkable. Like, at least in Vietnam, if I want to go get something, it's walkable. I can literally just walk out and get something. I don't I don't even think twice about it. If I don't want to walk, I get a Grab. Grab is probably less than $2. I can go anywhere. It's not a problem. Even if I want to go an hour away to Hoi An, it'll be $13. That you cannot find that in the US. That is not gonna happen. So it's just like I say, you're either gonna be scared, you're either gonna be curious, tired, or both. And that is what will push you to make the choice that I did leaving solo. I was tired. Everything was changing rapidly around me and not for the best. Everything was more expensive. And it's like, well, dang, you might as well go see something different. You may as well go see what it's like to have fresh fruit for less than $1 a pound, Go experience something different. Book your flight. Do be better than me though. Don't book it last minute. If you really want to save money, it's good to book 3 months in advance. If you don't mind rainy season, flights are typically cheaper during rainy season, so just have at it. Um, Rainy season would be like now, August, September, October, anywhere through there, even through January. I believe August and September are the cheapest months that you'll find flights. So book your flight. Get online, look for homestays. You could find somewhere to live in Hoi An, Da Nang, wherever you want to go, Hanoi, any of those places for like $10 a night. I'm not joking. Now the apartment I'm in now, this one I booked I try to do monthly stays just because I get annoyed having to constantly pack and move around. So this one was what, $415 a month. You can find something way cheaper than this. You don't have to do what I did. I was okay with it, so I went for it. Before this though, I was at a homestay for $10 a night. Before that, $6 a night. Like, you don't have to be fancy. Homestays are going to be a little bit different, and I'll do a video about that. Homestays versus like hotels and apartments. Homestays, you're living with a family, you're getting their culture, you're around them, their language, you're in their home, you see how they live, how they interact, how they operate. Sometimes they're ran like hotels and you just come and go with your own key. um Other times it's a little bit more immersive where you actually do have interactions with the family, but it's not like the US. US, I think I was still for a hotel, you're not going to find anything, not in the cities where I was, and like Scottsdale, Dallas, all of those places, you're not going to find a hotel for less than $50 a night. And $50, you're probably in some trap house, hood, whatever hotel where they selling out of next door at a Motel 6 or something. I've been at the bottom before, so I've had to do that before. Gotten Had to stay in a Motel 6 for 2 weeks or whatever. Because the cheapest you can find is a room for $57 to $60 a night. You're not going to find anything for 13, $10, whatever, like you will find here in Vietnam or in Cambodia or in Southeast Asia. So it's just doing your research, getting your courage. You're going to be scared. You may as well just accept it. It's okay. It is totally okay. Fear will mold you like nothing else. You'll be on your P's and Q's. Your head will be on the swivel. You'll be paying attention. So it's okay to be scared. Just push through it. Just get your affairs in order. Something else I did was made sure that my bank, I was banking with a credit union in Texas. That wasn't going to work. They're too restrictive and too many blocks, and they would have had me hemmed up in Vietnam. So make sure that you do research on your bank. Make sure that you find a card with no transaction fees. Make sure that if you have to get transfers, that they don't charge transfer fees. Charles Schwab, look into that. Capital One, look into them. Make sure you have a good bank that supports international travel, that won't be locking your card up every 5 minutes or denying or whatever, because their reach is, they're just not travel friendly. Make sure you find a good travel friendly bank. That is what I did. I took some time to find a good travel friendly bank. I am with Charles Schwab. Capital One is my backup card, and I still have my credit union in Texas, but I don't use it as often. I don't have time to fool with them. So that's another thing, just making sure that your cards, that you have access to your finances. Now, jobs, I had savings. I'm not going to tell you to do that unless you have a good chunk of savings and you feel like that you will be comfortable. I would say if you're going to come out with some savings, have a backup plan. Be looking for jobs. I had savings, but I was also on Upwork. I was looking at different, I was accepting different positions, doing like customer service, work from home. I was an assistant teaching English. I have my TEFL. You need backup options. Don't just come and think you're going to coast on savings. Yes, it is affordable. Yes, it is, cheaper than the US. But at the same time, you need a safety net. Things happen. You may get sick. You may contaminated water. Anything could happen, and you need a safety net. You need to be able to pay your medical bills. You need to be able to have something to fall back on. So just making sure that you have something set up as far as income. Income is a big one. And working on YouTube, freelancing, whatever you can do to make money, try to start or have it set before you leave the US, or at least have a good safety net of savings before you leave the US. That way you're okay. And that's the best way for me to put that. Um, let's see, I bank, traveling, packing. I would say pack as far as packing, I packed I packed heavy. I'm so ashamed. I packed heavy to the point where when I got to the airport and China Airlines weighed my bag and told me how much it was going to cost, I went back to my storage unit and dropped some shit off and, lightened the load a lot. And I'm glad I did, because you get here and stuff is so affordable. You can buy what you need. Don't do what I did. Do not do what I did. Don't do what I did. Don't think that you need to go on Amazon buying all this stuff because you think that you're not going to be able to find it here. That is not true. Whatever you think you need, you will be able to find it here in Vietnam or wherever, likely wherever you're going, for less than what you would have gotten it for in the US. I feel so stupid for what I did. I bought all that crap on Amazon, bought, stuff that I thought I would need to prepare, and wasted that money that I could have just brought here and spent way less getting what I needed and probably better quality. Don't do it. Don't. Just if you think you don't go getting beauty treatments, nails done and all of that in the US. Oh, I got to get cute before I go. Get cute when you get here. It's more affordable. You can find whatever you need here. I promise you that $120, $140 um full set that you're going to get in the US, you can come here and get it for about $25, 16, 14. This was what, $6 just for a little gel manicure? No, six. Like I was foolish. I did all of that before I got here. Don't do that. Don't. There's no need. You get what you can take care of everything that you need here. Anything you think you cannot find here, I promise you can find it. Unless it's like some super American brand, but more than likely you can just get on Shopee or Lazada and order it. Be right at your door in a day. Like this right here. I was about to get a prescription before I left the U.S. for Skinorin, azelaic acid. You could just walk into a pharmacy and get it for $6 here. And I was about to spend $150 to $300 on a damn prescription in the US for it. And here they got it just laying willy nilly. You can just buy like, things like that, man. Just you don't overthink. Don't overthink. Don't stress yourself out. I did it. I did it for months. I put my trip off so long till I ate through my own money like a fool. Don't do it. Just relax, do your research, take your time. If you need 2 months, take 2 months. If you need 3 months, take 3 months. Heck, I know people who've taken 6 months. Take 6 months. No, there's no rush. There's no timer on you. The only timer is the timer you put on yourself. I put a timer on myself and then I reneged on the timer. Then I put another timer on myself. Then I reneged, and that is okay too. I got through my own process. So just do what you need to do. um, Definitely check into your banking. Make sure your banking is secure. Make sure you have cards with no transaction fees, no international fees. Definitely make sure you look into flights. Check and make sure that you have any apps that you need downloaded, grab, whatever, The whatever the Uber is of the country that you're going to go to, make sure you check and have that downloaded before you get there. eSIMs, make sure you have that prepared. So you can get a data only eSIM in Vietnam for $6. Excuse me, for 30 days. Don't fall for that Airalo, all that crap. No, literally, they're just overselling you what you can find for easy at a Viatel store. Don't do it. Okay. So I'll try to make another more in-depth video because I probably was all over the place in this one, but that is how I overcame my fear. The truth is, I really immediately didn't. It took time and it will take you time, and that is okay. You need to plan, you need to do your research. Some people will just jump out and do it. Just jump out and do it if that works for you. Don't be, mad when you're met with a few hiccups or bumps in the road, but we from the US, child. We got you're fine. We hit bumps every day. So yeah. Bye. Anything that is new, anything that is worth taking on is going to be scary. It is, but you'll be okay. You'll do it. I did it. You'll be fine.